Another aspect of being a doormat is the lack of boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining a sense of self-respect and well-being. When you don't have clear boundaries, it's easy for others to push you around, take advantage of your kindness, and impose their will on you. Boundaries aren't walls that keep people out there, guidelines that protect your time, energy, and their mental health. Without boundaries, you're not able to protect yourself from being overwhelmed or drained by the demands of others. You start to believe that you should be available at all times, that you should be able to do it all, and that you must always put others' needs before your own. But this mindset ultimately leads to exhaustion, frustration, and feelings of inadequacy. It's not sustainable. To stop being a doormat, you first have to recognize your own worth. You have to understand that your time, your energy, and your emotions are valuable. Saying no is not a crime, it's an act of self-preservation and self-respect. When you say no to something, you're not rejecting the person or the request, you're simply protecting your own space and resources. Saying no isn't about being rude or unkind, it's about being clear about your priorities and recognizing that you cannot give to others when you're running on empty. You are not obligated to meet everyone's expectations, and you don't have to say yes to everything just to be liked or accepted. The truth is, when you constantly say yes, you're saying no to yourself. You're denying yourself the time and energy you need to take care of your own needs and pursue your own passions. Another important step in breaking free from being a doormat is to start valuing yourself enough to set boundaries. Boundaries can take many forms. They can be emotional, physical, or mental. They can be as simple as deciding not to answer the phone after a certain time of night, or as profound as deciding to end relationships that no longer serve your well-being. Boundaries are the way you communicate your needs to others and ensure that you're not being drained or disrespected. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you care about yourself enough to protect your peace and well-being. It's not about being harsh or unkind. It's about being clear and assertive in protecting your own space. You deserve to have time for yourself, to say no without guilt, and to prioritize your own goals, dreams, and well-being. To truly stop being a doormat, you must also learn to advocate for yourself. This means standing up for your needs and desires, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's about asserting your voice, speaking your truth, and expressing your feelings in a way that is respectful but firm. When you stand up for yourself, you show others that you value yourself and that you expect to be treated with respect. Advocating for yourself also means being willing to walk away from situations, people, or relationships that are toxic or draining. You don't have to stay in situations that make you feel small, unappreciated, or disrespected. You have the right to remove yourself from environments that don't contribute to your happiness or growth. You are worthy of relationships that are balanced, respectful, and nurturing, and you don't have to settle for anything less. Finally, breaking free from being a doormat requires building self-confidence. The more you believe in your own worth, the less likely you are to tolerate being treated poorly. Confidence comes from within, and it grows when you start taking action to protect yourself, set boundaries, and prioritize your own needs. Confidence is the belief that you are enough, that your needs are valid, and that your time and energy are valuable. The more you practice standing up for yourself, the stronger your confidence becomes. It's a muscle that gets stronger with use, and over time, you'll find that you no longer feel the need to please others at the expense of your own well-being. Instead, you'll be able to show up in the world as your true, authentic self, with the strength to say no when needed and the confidence to demand the respect you deserve. When you stop being a doormat, you start living for yourself. You stop being controlled by the expectations and demands of others, and you begin to take control of your own life. You reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace. You begin to live with intention, making choices that serve your own happiness and fulfillment. No longer will you allow others to dictate your worth or take advantage of your kindness. You will embrace the power of saying no, of setting clear boundaries, and of advocating for yourself. In doing so, you'll discover a sense of freedom, confidence, and inner strength that will allow you to create the life you deserve. Learn the power of saying no. Learning the power of saying no is one of the most transformative skills you can develop in your life. For many people, saying no feels uncomfortable or even impossible. There's a deep-rooted fear of disappointing others, of being labeled selfish, or of missing out on opportunities. We are often conditioned from a young age to be people pleasers, to avoid conflict, and to say yes in order to maintain harmony or gain approval. While this might seem like the polite thing to do in the short term, it can have a devastating impact on your mental health, personal goals, and overall happiness in the long run. Learning to say no is not only an act of self-care, it is an essential step toward reclaiming your time, your energy, and your life. When you say yes to everything, you essentially allow others to take control of your schedule and your energy. You fill your calendar with commitments that may not align with your goals or desires simply because you are afraid of saying no. This leaves you exhausted, overwhelmed, and often resentful. Your time becomes a currency that is constantly being depleted, and you're left with little left for the things that truly matter to you. You may even find yourself resenting the people you are trying so hard to please because you've neglected your own needs and boundaries in order to accommodate theirs. Saying no is empowering because it allows you to take control of your life. Every time you say no, you are asserting your right to prioritize your own needs and desires. Saying no is a powerful declaration of self-respect. It means that you value your time, energy, and mental health enough to protect them from unnecessary strain. You are not obligated to meet everyone's expectations, and you don't need to constantly prove your worth by saying yes to every request that comes your way. You are entitled to say no when something doesn't align with your values, your goals, or your emotional needs. One of the reasons saying no can feel so difficult is because of the fear of rejection or guilt. We often worry that by saying no, we might hurt someone's feelings or that they will think we are selfish, unkind, or unhelpful. However, saying no is not an indication that you are rejecting the person. It is simply a reflection of your choice to protect your own well-being. Saying no does not mean that you don't care about the other person or that you're unwilling to help them. It means that you are being intentional about where you spend your time and energy. True kindness comes not from saying yes to everything, but from being honest and clear about your boundaries. People who truly respect you will understand when you need to say no and will appreciate the honesty and clarity you bring to your relationships. Another significant reason why saying no is so powerful is that it frees you from the trap of people pleasing. People pleasers often find themselves agreeing to things because they fear conflict or disapproval. They say yes because they want to be liked or they want to avoid confrontation. However, this constant need for approval can lead to a lack of personal fulfillment and a sense of disconnection from one's true self. When you make a habit of saying no in situations where it matters, you start to break free from the need for external validation. You begin to listen to your own voice and trust that your needs and desires are just as important as anyone else's. This shift in perspective is liberating. It allows you to make decisions based on your own values rather than based on the fear of disappointing others. Learning to say no also allows you to say yes to the things that truly matter. When you say no to the things that drain your energy or take you away from your priorities, you create space for the things that nourish and empower you. You can say yes to your goals, your passions, your loved ones, and your personal growth. Saying no to the things that are not serving you is a way of saying yes to your own success and happiness. It's about being intentional with your time and energy and making sure that you are investing them in the people, projects, and activities that align with your purpose. Many people hesitate to say no because they feel that they'll miss out on opportunities. The fear of missing out, FOMO, can be strong, especially when it comes to social events, career opportunities, or relationships. However, saying no doesn't mean that you are shutting yourself off from the world. It means that you are making conscious choices about where you invest your time. In fact, saying no can open up even greater opportunities. When you turn down something that doesn't align with your values or goals, you create space for the things that truly matter. You give yourself the opportunity to focus on what brings you joy, fulfillment, and growth. By learning to say no, you avoid spreading yourself too thin and can put your full energy into the things that are truly important to you. It's important to remember that saying no doesn't always have to be harsh or abrupt. It can be done with kindness and respect without an explanation or apology. You can say no firmly, but with compassion. You don't need to justify yourself or make excuses. Your time and energy are yours to manage, and you don't owe anyone an explanation. The more you practice saying no, the easier it becomes. It becomes a habit that empowers you to make conscious decisions, protect your boundaries, and take control of your life. Saying no is also an act of self-care. It's a way of setting boundaries that honor your physical, emotional, and mental health. In a world where people are constantly pulling at your time and attention, it can be easy to forget that you are allowed to prioritize your own well-being. But when you learn to say no, you're putting yourself first, and you're taking care of your needs in the same way that you would care for a loved one. This is crucial for your long-term happiness and peace of mind. Self-care is not selfish, it's necessary for living a balanced and fulfilling life. As you practice saying no, you'll begin to notice how it strengthens your sense of self and your ability to make empowered choices. The more you honor your boundaries and protect your time, the more you'll develop the confidence to make decisions based on your own needs and desires. Learning to say no allows you to stand in your truth and live authentically. It's an essential step in taking control of your life, your energy, and your happiness. In conclusion, saying no is one of the most empowering and freeing actions you can take. It allows you to set boundaries, protect your time, and prioritize your well-being. It is a skill that takes practice, but once you learn it, you'll find that it transforms your relationships, your goals, and your sense of self-worth. Saying no is not about rejecting others, it's about accepting yourself, your needs, and your limits. It's about choosing to live with intention and clarity and making room for the things that truly matter in your life. So start practicing the power of saying no today. You'll be amazed at how it opens up a world of possibilities and helps you live the life you deserve. You've been taught that kindness is the way forward. That being kind to others is a virtue, and while kindness is a beautiful thing, here's the hard truth: being kind isn't always what's best for you. In fact, sometimes it's holding you back from your true potential. You see, kindness isn't about saying yes to everything. It isn't about constantly putting others' needs before your own, ignoring your dreams, your goals, and your own well-being. It isn't about being a doormat, letting people walk all over you and accepting less than you deserve. Being kind in the wrong situations can leave you drained, unfulfilled, and stuck. The kindness you give to others should never come at the cost of your own happiness or growth. So today I'm telling you, stop being kind. At least stop being kind to the point of self-sacrifice. Stop being kind at the expense of your own time, your energy, your dreams. Stop being kind to people who take and never give back. Stop being kind to those who don't respect your boundaries, who drain your energy, and leave you feeling empty. There's a misconception that kindness means you have to give everything you have to everyone. But that's not true kindness. True kindness is having the courage to say no when something isn't right for you. It's having the strength to stand up for yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. It's having the wisdom to recognize when your kindness is being taken for granted, and the bravery to walk away from situations that no longer serve you. Let's be clear about something. Kindness is not weakness, but letting people take advantage of you, letting them rob you of your time and energy, that's not kindness, it's a lack of boundaries. And it's a lack of respect for your own worth. The kind of kindness that's rooted in self-respect, in healthy boundaries, and in the courage to prioritize your own well-being is the kind that will change your life. If you're constantly giving to others without taking care of yourself, you'll end up empty. You'll be running on fumes, and eventually you'll have nothing left to give, not to others and not to yourself. Stop being kind to the point of exhaustion. Stop being kind to the point where you lose sight of your dreams, your goals, and your purpose. True kindness doesn't mean giving everything you have. It means knowing when to give and when to protect your peace. It means setting clear boundaries, and it means knowing your worth. It means having the strength to say, I will help, but not at the expense of my own happiness. I will be there for you, but not if it takes away from my own growth. It's time to realize that your kindness has limits, your time, your energy, and your resources are valuable. And if you don't start respecting that, no one else will either. So start being kind to yourself first. Protect your energy. Pursue your dreams without guilt. Make decisions that serve your highest good, and know that saying no isn't unkind, it's an act of self-love. Now, I'm not saying you should become cold, indifferent, or selfish. Not at all. I'm simply saying stop being kind to the point where you lose yourself. Stop being kind to the point where you allow people to use your kindness as a means of taking advantage. You deserve more. You deserve to be surrounded by people who respect you, who give as much as they take, and who value your time and energy as much as you do. So today, make a decision. Stop being kind to those who don't respect your boundaries. Stop being kind when it costs you your peace. And most importantly, stop being kind to yourself last. You cannot pour from an empty cup. When you prioritize your own needs, your own well-being, your own happiness, that's when you can show up as the best version of yourself for others. That's when you can give, not from a place of emptiness, but from a place of abundance. That's when your kindness will truly make a difference, because it will come from a place of strength, not weakness. Stop being kind to the point of depletion. Start being kind from a place of power. Start being kind from a place where you respect yourself enough to say no when it's necessary. Start being kind to yourself so you can truly be kind to others. Kindness is not self-sacrifice. Kindness is often viewed as one of the most admirable qualities a person can have. It's a virtue that connects us to one another and fosters a sense of community, compassion, and empathy. But there's a crucial distinction that needs to be made. Kindness should never come at the expense of self-sacrifice. Too often we are taught to put others before ourselves, to give without hesitation, to offer our time and energy without question. We are conditioned to believe that being kind means always saying yes, always offering our help, and never asking for anything in return. While this may seem noble, it can quickly lead to exhaustion, resentment, and a loss of personal identity. When you give without regard for your own needs, you risk depleting yourself in ways that can have long-term negative effects. Imagine a well that is constantly being drawn from but never replenished. Eventually, the well runs dry, and there is no more water to give. Similarly, when you give and give without taking the time to care for your own physical, emotional, or mental health, you will eventually find yourself burnt out and disconnected from your true self. Your capacity to be kind diminishes because you have nothing left to offer. This is why kindness should never require self-sacrifice, because in doing so, you sacrifice your ability to continue being kind, to continue showing up for others in a meaningful way. Self-sacrifice in the name of kindness often stems from a place of guilt, fear, or desire to please others. You might say yes because you don't want to disappoint someone, or you might offer help because you fear judgment or rejection if you don't. But kindness born out of obligation or fear is not genuine, it is transactional, and over time it can create feelings of resentment. Instead of feeling fulfilled by your actions, you feel drained, overwhelmed, and sometimes even angry. And this is where the danger lies when you start to feel that kindness is a burden rather than a gift. It stops being a positive force. It no longer serves you, and it certainly doesn't serve those you're trying to help. True kindness isn't about giving until there's nothing left. It's about offering your help and compassion from a place of abundance, where you've taken the time to nurture your own well-being first. The more you care for yourself, the more you are able to give to others. This doesn't mean being selfish or putting yourself above everyone else. It means recognizing that you cannot help others if you are not in a position to do so. When you take the time to rest, recharge, and prioritize your own needs, you become more effective in your kindness. Your ability to be compassionate and generous is not depleted because you filled your own cup. The energy you give is sustainable, and it flows freely without resentment. The key to sustainable kindness lies in boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that shut others out. They are guidelines that allow you to protect your energy while still being there for others. When you know your limits, you are able to offer help without draining yourself in the process. Boundaries also help you avoid the trap of people-pleasing. When you have clear boundaries, you stop saying yes out of guilt or fear and start saying yes because you truly want to help. You can give without feeling taken advantage of because you are in control of your time, your energy, and your actions. And most importantly, you are not giving out of obligation, but from a place of love and compassion that honors both you and the other person. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself and for those around you is to learn how to say no. Saying no isn't unkind. It's a way of respecting your own needs while also being honest with others. You cannot help everyone, and you cannot be everywhere. By saying no when necessary, you make room for the things that truly matter to you. You free up your time, energy, and resources for the relationships and opportunities that align with your values and goals. Saying no is not a rejection of others. It's an affirmation of your own well-being. It's a reminder that you are worthy of the same care and respect you give to others. And when you say no, you are also teaching others how to respect your boundaries, creating a healthier dynamic in your relationships. Self-care is a crucial component of kindness. It's not about being selfish, but about being aware of your own needs. When you take time to nurture yourself, you replenish your energy, reset your mind, and restore your spirit. This enables you to continue being a positive force for others without depleting yourself. Think of it as putting on your own oxygen mask first. Only then can you assist others effectively. If you are not taking care of yourself, you are not in the best position to help those around you. Self-care allows you to show up as your best self, strong, centered, and ready to give from a place of balance. When you stop seeing kindness as self-sacrifice, you begin to understand its true power. Kindness is not a commodity to be depleted. It's a gift that grows when you take care of yourself. The more you invest in your own well-being, the more you have to offer to others. You become a source of inspiration, strength, and love because you are no longer running on empty. You are living in alignment with your values, giving freely without fear of depletion, and allowing yourself to receive as well as give. In this way, kindness becomes a flow, not a drain. It becomes a source of personal fulfillment and collective growth. So remember, kindness should never cost you your peace. It should never mean giving everything you have until there's nothing left. Kindness is at its best when it is grounded in self-respect, boundaries, and a healthy sense of self-care. When you prioritize yourself, you can offer your kindness to the world in a way that is both sustainable and transformative. You have the power to be kind not because you must, but because you choose to, and because you have the strength and energy to do so. Stop being a doormat. Being a doormat is a situation many people find themselves in without even realizing it. The term doormat often refers to someone who allows others to walk all over them, someone who constantly sacrifices their own needs, desires, and boundaries for the sake of others. At first glance, it might seem like they're being kind, selfless, or generous. But in reality, being a doormat is neither kind nor selfless. It's a form of self-neglect that ultimately leads to resentment, burnout, and the erosion of one's self-worth. When you constantly say yes to others and put their needs before your own, you're not showing kindness, you're enabling unhealthy behavior. People who tend to be doormats often find themselves giving in to the demands of others simply to avoid conflict or disappointment. They're afraid of saying no because they worry that others will be upset or that they will be seen as selfish or unhelpful. But the truth is, this constant accommodating only leads to frustration and a feeling of being taken advantage of. If you're always putting others first, you're doing so at the expense of your own needs, and over time, you begin to feel like you don't matter, as though your own desires and well-being are less important than everyone else's. The problem with being a doormat is that you allow others to dictate your time, energy, and emotions. You may find yourself agreeing to things you don't want to do, attending events you'd rather skip, or taking on tasks that aren't yours to shoulder, simply because you're afraid of letting people down. But in the process, you're losing a piece of yourself. You're giving away your time and energy to things that don't bring you fulfillment. And in the long run, this leaves you feeling drained, unappreciated, and bitter. You might find yourself resenting the very people you've been trying so hard to please because deep down you know they've taken advantage of your willingness to put others first. Self-kindness is essential. Self-kindness is one of the most profound and often overlooked practices for personal growth and well-being. It is the foundation upon which all other aspects of life, including success, happiness, and fulfillment, are built. Yet, in a world where we are constantly striving for perfection, battling inner critics, and comparing ourselves to others, self-kindness can sometimes feel like a distant or even unnecessary goal. But the truth is, self-kindness is not only essential, it is the key to living a balanced, peaceful, and meaningful life. It's the ability to treat yourself with the same care, understanding, and compassion that you would offer to a dear friend or loved one. In our fast-paced, achievement-oriented society, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism. We often focus on our perceived shortcomings, failures, or imperfections. The inner voice that tells us we're not good enough or that we don't measure up becomes the loudest voice we hear. This negative self-talk is often reinforced by external influences, social media comparisons, societal standards, or even the expectations of those around us. Over time, this internalized criticism can take a significant toll on our mental health, self-esteem, and overall happiness. When we are constantly at war with ourselves, it becomes nearly impossible to move forward or to feel a sense of peace. Practicing self-kindness means learning to quiet that harsh inner critic and replace it with a voice of compassion. It's about treating yourself with the same patience, understanding, and love that you would offer someone else in need. It means acknowledging your mistakes without condemning yourself and recognizing that failure is a natural part of growth and learning. Being kind to yourself means giving yourself the grace to stumble and the permission to be imperfect. It's the understanding that you do not need to be flawless to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. When we are kind to ourselves, we also allow space for self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is about embracing who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, quirks, and all. It is the acknowledgement that you are worthy of love and respect simply because you exist, not because of your achievements or what you've accomplished. Self-kindness allows you to fully accept yourself without judgment or the need for external validation. It frees you from the constant need to prove yourself and enables you to live authentically. You stop measuring your worth based on comparisons to others and start seeing yourself as complete and whole, just as you are. Self-kindness is also a vital aspect of resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and obstacles, but the way you respond to those difficulties can make all the difference. When you practice self-kindness, you approach life's hardships with a mindset of compassion rather than self-blame. Instead of criticizing yourself for not being strong enough or capable enough, you allow yourself to feel your emotions without judgment and give yourself permission to take a break or ask for help when needed. Self-kindness helps you navigate through tough times with grace and understanding rather than allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by shame or guilt. It provides the emotional strength to rise after a fall and to continue moving forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Moreover, self-kindness is crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship with your own body. In a culture that often promotes unrealistic beauty standards and constantly reinforces the idea of not enough, self-kindness means embracing your body with love and respect. It's about treating yourself with gentleness, whether that means taking time to rest, nourishing your body with healthy foods, or simply allowing yourself to be free from the pressure to look a certain way. When you practice self-kindness, you stop seeing your body as an enemy to be conquered or a project to be perfected. Instead, you begin to appreciate it for all it does for you and honor its needs with patience and care. Additionally, self-kindness enhances your relationships with others. When you are kind to yourself, you are more likely to be kind to those around you. Our relationships are often mirrors of how we treat ourselves. If you're harsh and critical with yourself, that energy can bleed into your interactions with others. But when you practice self-compassion, you create a space of positivity and love that allows you to be more present, understanding, and compassionate with others. You become more capable of offering forgiveness, not just to those around you, but also to yourself. Self-kindness fosters a sense of connection and empathy, which is the foundation of strong, meaningful relationships. One of the most powerful aspects of self-kindness is its ability to reduce stress and anxiety. Constantly pushing yourself to be perfect, to do more, and to meet everyone's expectations takes a toll on your mental and emotional health. It leads to burnout, exhaustion, and feelings of inadequacy. When you practice self-kindness, you allow yourself to step back and breathe. You give yourself permission to take breaks, to pause, and to simply exist without the need for constant productivity or achievement. This fosters a sense of calm and peace, which helps reduce stress and allows you to navigate life's challenges with a clearer, more focused mind. Incorporating self-kindness into your daily routine doesn't require grand gestures or significant changes. It can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to acknowledge your accomplishments, to speak kindly to yourself, or to give yourself permission to rest. It can mean saying no to things that drain your energy or that don't align with your values. It can mean celebrating your successes, no matter how small, and forgiving yourself when you make mistakes. Self-kindness is about being gentle with yourself and remembering that you are enough just as you are. Over time, practicing self-kindness becomes a habit, one that transforms your inner dialogue and reshapes the way you approach life. It's about shifting your mindset from one of self-criticism to one of self-compassion and understanding that your worth is not contingent on your external achievements or the approval of others. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness simply because you are human. In conclusion, self-kindness is essential for a fulfilled, balanced life. It allows you to develop resilience, self-acceptance, and a sense of inner peace. It helps you build healthier relationships with both yourself and others, while reducing stress and anxiety. Most importantly, self-kindness helps you recognize that you are enough just as you are. So if you're looking to create a life of happiness, joy, and fulfillment, start by being kind to yourself. Treat yourself with the love and compassion you deserve, and watch as your entire life begins to transform. True kindness comes from abundance. True kindness is not something that can be given from a place of scarcity or obligation. It emanates from a state of abundance where you feel full, whole, and secure within yourself. When you have a sense of inner wealth, be it emotional, mental, or spiritual, you can give to others without depleting yourself. True kindness flows effortlessly when you are not focused on what you lack or what you need, but on what you have to offer. In this state of abundance, you give because you are full, not because you feel you must. It comes from a place of deep connection, not just with others, but with yourself and the universe around you. Many people mistakenly believe that kindness is about giving without limits, that you must give everything to others in order to be truly kind. This idea often leads to burnout, exhaustion, and resentment. The key to understanding true kindness is that it's not about giving away everything you have, whether it's time, energy, or resources, but about sharing what you have from a place of balance. When you give from a sense of abundance, there is no depletion. You are offering your kindness, love, and compassion because you have an inner reservoir that is filled and flowing. You are not offering these gifts with a sense of duty, but with genuine joy and a deep understanding of their value. When you have an abundant mindset, you believe that there is enough to go around. You see the world as a place of opportunity, where kindness can multiply and ripple outward in ways you might never fully understand. Abundance is not just about material wealth, though that can certainly play a role. It's about a mindset that believes in the infinite possibilities for love, connection, and growth. When you operate from this place, you are more willing to share and to give because you know that there is always more to receive in return. Whether it's love, support, kindness, or resources, an abundant person understands that the act of giving enriches both the giver and the receiver. This mindset is particularly important in a world that often encourages a mentality of lack and competition. Society can often make us feel as if resources, whether they be time, success, love, or recognition, are finite, and that we must compete for what is available. This leads to jealousy, fear, and hoarding of what little we think we have. However, when you embrace an abundant mindset, you release these fears. You realize that kindness is not a limited resource. You can give freely, knowing that there is always more to offer, and that every act of kindness adds to the collective good in ways that go beyond individual gain. True kindness also arises from an internal sense of self-worth. When you feel abundant within, you don't seek external validation from others to feel good about yourself. You give kindness because it is a reflection of who you are, not because you expect something in return. You offer your love, time, and attention because it feels natural to do so, not because you feel obligated to meet a need or demand. When you have an abundance of self-love and self-compassion, you are able to extend that same love and compassion to others. You are not giving from a place of needing others to fill you up, but from a place of already being full and complete. In relationships, kindness that comes from abundance is truly transformative. When you are able to give love and care from a place of abundance, it changes the dynamic of your interactions. Instead of seeking to extract something from the other person, you are offering something freely. This creates an environment of mutual respect and trust where both people feel valued and supported. You become more attuned to the needs of others, not because you have to fulfill them out of obligation, but because you genuinely want to see others thrive. True kindness in relationships is rooted in the desire to uplift others, not because you expect them to do the same in return, but because you are in a place of abundance that allows you to give freely. Moreover, the kindness that comes from abundance is deeply impactful. When you act out of abundance, your kindness is genuine, and it radiates from you. People can sense the difference between kindness that is given reluctantly or out of a sense of duty, and kindness that comes from a place of deep well-being and fullness. The former feels transactional and hollow, while the latter feels authentic and uplifting. Kindness born from abundance inspires others to embrace the same mindset, creating a ripple effect of goodwill and positivity that spreads far beyond your immediate interactions. Practicing kindness from abundance also means recognizing that your acts of kindness are not limited to material things. It's not just about giving money, gifts, or physical help. True kindness encompasses emotional and mental support as well. Offering a listening ear, encouraging words, or even just a smile can be just as valuable as any material gift. When you come from a place of abundance, you understand that your time, attention, and presence are gifts in themselves. You begin to see the profound impact that even the smallest gestures of kindness can have, not just on the person you're helping, but on yourself as well. Additionally, kindness from abundance encourages personal growth and well-being. When you embrace the idea that you are abundant, you shift from a scarcity mindset to one of generosity. This shift brings you closer to your true self, allowing you to act in ways that are aligned with your values and purpose. It allows you to engage with the world in a meaningful way, free from fear or insecurity. You begin to trust in the flow of life and know that by giving freely, you attract positivity and opportunities back into your life. Another important aspect of kindness rooted in abundance is that it fosters gratitude. When you give from a place of abundance, you don't expect anything in return. Instead, you cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for what you already have. This gratitude fuels more kindness and reinforces the belief that there is always enough, more than enough, in fact. Gratitude creates a positive feedback loop that enhances both your own life and the lives of others, strengthening connections and building a more compassionate world. True kindness from abundance does not mean giving endlessly without regard for your own well-being. It's important to recognize that while kindness is limitless, you must also protect your own boundaries and prioritize self-care. Giving from abundance means taking care of yourself first so that you can continue to give freely to others without depleting your energy or resources. You must find balance. Being kind to yourself ensures that you have enough to give without sacrificing your own well-being. In conclusion, true kindness comes from a place of abundance, not scarcity. It is the natural outflow of a person who is secure, fulfilled, and content within themselves. When you operate from an abundant mindset, you give freely and selflessly, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to share and uplift others. Kindness from abundance creates positive ripple effects that enrich both the giver and the receiver. It transforms relationships, enhances personal growth, and fosters a more compassionate and loving world. So if you want to truly make a difference, start by cultivating abundance within yourself. Give from a place of fullness and watch as kindness grows and spreads, creating a brighter and more connected world.